And the next voice you hear after this little bit of music will be that of SOTU. Thank you, Josh. Here we go.
Shall we look at the amount of fear that's floating around in your world right now?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll take a moment. A moment of fear.
Well, it's our show, isn't it?
Well, yes.
All right.
You do have a bigger picture than any of us.
Well, again, you have to realize there's a couple of different things going on. In the dynamic, it's what you have been calling the dynamics of the journey on the bus or the journey on the train.
All right.
Right? The journey on the bus is the dynamics of most of you. You know, we have some multiple time callers waiting for us, and, you know, those are the situations where these folks are mostly dealing with personal dynamics of instances of the day, instances of the week that make them question the dynamics of their own personal growth and are reflections of that dynamic of your personal growth. And then there are others that are on the train that the stuff like the impeachment, like the acquittal, like the firing of people in the White House, like all of the stuff. It's all the bigger picture stuff that seems to affect them, and the things that they are focusing on, like you and the channel, in order to begin to affect change in the dynamics of the greater reality. So, and that's the dualism of your reality. Just to reiterate and remind you, you create your reality 100%, while simultaneously you are creating a reality that is a cooperative venture between yourself, between nature, and between spirit. And so in the dynamics of that bigger understanding that just as each of you are growing on an individual level, so too are you growing on the species-wide level as well. And these are the things that you face right now. And just like an adolescent that is growing up, you are going through a certain dynamic of growing pains. And as we have often said at this time in a show, there may be a certain flavor of energy that exists at the end that we will speak to you somewhat about in order to have you understand that you are involved in the flow of a river. And in the dynamic of that flow of the river, the choice becomes, are you going to stay in the middle of the current being tossed and carried forward at the breakneck speed, bouncing over rocks and things like that, or are you going to maneuver your way out to the edges where the waters are much quieter and much easier to deal with? And so that's what's the great question right now. So, who are you going to be?
So you started this out by talking about fear, and the fear is what's going on in that middle of the
fear is
stream.
The unknown here. Well, yeah, you're being carried forward so forcefully. Yes, absolutely right. There is a fear because in the center there is very little control. You can only go forward.
Right.
You might spin around a little bit, but you're really only being carried in one direction. Right? Once you move out to the edges, you have choices. And as you have found, those of you that have worked with us before, and we see everybody here has, we can see your phone numbers. You understand that there is that energy, that flow that we tap into on a weekly basis that allows us to, read the dynamics of your reality. All right?
All right.
All right. So we just wish to say everything is changing, but everything is always changing. There are going to be very big changes. There's going to be fundamental and foundational changes. And the best thing that you all can do is keep your center.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your center. All right?
All right.